There's a famous, semi-famous supervillain who was known for painting the schlong of his enemies gold. This has nothing to do with that, thankfully. Welcome to Whiskey Catapult, where we catapult around the world trying to whiskeys from all over the world. Today, we are going to the Czech Republic for their single malt. This is GoldCock. Single malt, this is aged for 20 years, and it is 49.2% ABV. It is non-chill filtered and non-colored. So I picked this one up a while back because I've never had Czech whiskey before, and I kind of wanted to see what it was all about, see if it was drastically different or not. I always am curious about whiskey from different regions, whether it's from how they handle the distillation process, how they handle the aging process, how the climate affects it, all those various things. So I got this one for a pretty good deal from finedrams.com. Not a sponsor, just where I picked it up. And it was a pretty good price, especially for a 20-year-old age statement. So I figured I'd give it a shot. Uh, I already poured a glass because it's 20 years old. So I want to give it time to kind of open up. And as they usually say, a minute in the glass for a year in the cask. So gave it plenty of time to kind of open up and, you know, get a much better experience than a fresh pour. Mm. It's a very nice nose. It's light. It's sweet, kind of malty. A little bit of fruit here. It reminds me of a very traditional styled Scotch, non-peated, but it's a very nice nose. Mm. Mm. Okay. It almost has this farm kind of note. If you've ever had a Glengeely Scotch, it has kind of that farm, hay, outdoorsy quality to it, I guess. It's kind of hard to describe, but if you know, you know. Malty, light fruit, a little bit of oak spice in there, a slight creaminess, just a bit. And then I'll be honest, it's really tough for me to tell if it's the grain that's coming through or if it's the oak that's coming through. It could be both, but because it's one specific note I'm getting, I have a hard time getting that clashing. But I'd also be surprised that it would be getting a grain note for being 20 years old. Usually that gets aged out. But I'm not sure what the climate's like in the Czech Republic, to be honest. So maybe it's not that crazy. Okay, the finish lingers for a little bit. It's light, still has that some of that maltiness on there, and a little bit of that farminess, like just hay, dried wood. It's pretty nice. But so this one has a glass topper, which I'm for the most part I like. You don't have to worry about it, disintegrating like some corks do. But if you've never had a glass topper before, the best way to open it is actually push it from the side till you hear the click, and then it comes right off. So nice, good seal. It's not going to break or anything. I hope not. But I do have some that have like a really thin lip at the top where it's really hard to push up against it, and they are a pain in the butt to open. So kudos to them for doing more of a traditional style topper for it. But yeah, I've had one other Goldcock whiskey, and this was probably in the last 6 months, and it was a 8-year-old, and so I got to do a nice side by side comparison. Um, they're pretty close in range from like a flavor profile, which is kind of cool. They didn't deviate too much, which was nice. But you could definitely tell that this one had a little bit more age to it, which for an 8-year-old, that isn't too surprising. Hmm. Let me add a little bit of water to this one. It's not hot. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 drops. It's not hot from an ABV standpoint. I mean, it's 49.2, so it's not overkill. I don't know if it's cast strength. It doesn't say on the bottle if it is or not, but that's still a pretty solid ABV to go by. So maybe a little water will kind of open it up, bring out some other notes. The sweetness on the nose just kind of dipped a little bit. I'm almost getting more of a dusty bookshelf, but still get the maltiness, still get some light fruit. It still just kind of has some of that traditional Scotch nose, man, or traditional single malt too. I've gotten this nose on American single malt as well. Okay. That hay and kind of grainy malt has come forward a little bit more. So get a little bit of light fruit in there, a little bit of oak spice. Don't really get the creaminess anymore. That's kind of dissipated. It's almost got like a little bit of a sourness to it now. But that grain and hay is really coming forward now. Interesting. I usually don't get that on a whiskey that's this old. Even Scotch, I usually don't get it whenever it's 8 to 10 years. And this is not the same as the farm note that I was getting earlier. It definitely is kind of that hay graininess. If you've ever had malted barley and like chewed on it a little bit, it tastes that really grain sweet note. It's kind of like that. So, finish is about the same. Still light, still malty, still lingers just a little bit. So, this one's not bad. This one was a fun one to try. I've had a pretty decent amount of it. It's not quite halfway, but it's definitely getting there. This one's a tough one. It's not my cup of tea. I'll say that. It doesn't really match my profile for what I like in whiskey. If you like more of that craft, grain to glass, where you can, get some of those barley and grain notes on there, this is right up your alley. Worth a pickup. If you don't like that, like myself, tough for me to recommend, but it is an interesting try. I want to say the price for this one I got was about 120, 130. So like good deal for the age statement, and it was a fun pickup for that. So good ball to share with like a whiskey club or something. If it's everyone's pitching for a bottle, good one to try. It's not bad. But it's just not really hitting the notes that I usually look for, which is a shame. I was kind of, I'd say I had higher hopes for this one, but yep, still that grain coming forward through. That sourness. So I definitely like it a little bit better without water. I don't think that part was necessary. So has some grain, malty, light fruit. It's just kind of going back and forth between those notes, juggling around. So not bad. Yeah, grain notes a little off-putting for me. So this one probably pass, but it does have a funny name, so it's usually not I've picked up whiskey for less, that's for sure. And if you're suggesting that I bought this whiskey just because it's called GoldCock, you're halfway there. But legitimately was interested in, what Czech whiskey was like. So, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button and subscribe to see where we catapult off to next. Cheers.